Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect that are scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. To you I say, Shalom. The book of Luke 21:19. In your patience possess ye your souls. Yeah, so patience is a necessary quality or attribute that's needed for the elect to make it on a spiritual journey to the kingdom of heaven. And this attribute was something that our forefathers lacked coming out of Egypt, as over time, they became weary in the mind. They became faint so much to where they began to lust out of the things that they had back in Egypt. They began to reflect and look back. All right. And that was the Lord trying them and proving them to see if they will walk in his law or not. So how much more today in this modern day Egypt, as we want another spiritual journey to the kingdom of heaven? The Lord is trying to see if we're going to continue suffering in his truth, waiting, or if we're going to desire the things of Egypt once again by going back into the world. Okay? So that's the task at hand. In your patience possess your souls. And I want to go to the book of Numbers real quick. Numbers, the 11th chapter. Just to get that account. It says, verse 4, and the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? So at this point, again, they became weary in the mind. They began to faint, due to a lack of patience. So what happened after that? It says, we remember, you see, we remember. They started to think back and reflect. It says the fish which we did eat in Egypt. See, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. So they developed an appetite of Egypt. Again, for the things that they once had in Egypt. So it's the same thing today as we continue this course. Certain old lusts are going to creep back into your mind to get you to feel like you need something other than what the Lord has given you, which is what? This hidden manna. So verse 6 says, but now our soul is dried away. These Israelites said that their soul is now dried away. And why was that? It says because there is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. So that wasn't enough for them. They weren't fulfilled. They weren't satisfied. You see? So much of where they started seeking for other things to satisfy them. So we fall in that same lot as the Lord has given us his hidden manna, these secrets, this truth that's feeding us. We're supposed to be satisfied as the Lord said we would be. Okay? Which means that you're fulfilled and you don't want anything else outside this truth. Nothing else can suffice you. Okay? So don't be like these niggas back in Egypt who got tired of waiting. They got tired of suffering. They lost patience and they desired the things of Egypt. Don't start desiring the things of America once again, whatever they may be, to suffice you. Let this truth be enough. So let's go back to Luke 21:19. In your patience possess ye your souls. Okay? So this word patience right here, strong G 5281, it says steadfastness, constancy, endurance. Okay? Let's click this word endurance. Simple Google definition. It says the fact or power of enduring an unpleasant or difficult process or situation without giving away. Yeah. So those guys back in Egypt, they got tired of what? Enduring or suffering. Okay. Yep. Endure right here says to suffer something painful or difficult patiently. Okay. So when it says and your patience possess your souls, that goes back into suffering, enduring. So again, steadfastness, constancy, endurance. In the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his delivered purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and suffering. So an individual who is showcasing patience is not being swerved by the things of this current world, okay? It could be your family, it can be money, it can be women, different philosophies. All these things can swerve you off the path and cause you to revert back, okay? Which means that you got tired of suffering. It says patiently and steadfastly. It says a patient, steadfast waiting for, right? You're suffering, you're waiting for our Lord Yahweh Shai. See? Strong's definition says cheerful or hopeful endurance, right? Because we're cheerful and we're hopeful, all right, for the promise that was told that we will receive. All right, first starting with salvation, then the kingdom of heaven, so on and so forth. So we had to keep that cheerful hope, all right, throughout this hard endurance of waiting on our Lord Yahweh Shai. So again, cheerful or hopeful endurance, constancy, enduring, patient, continuance waiting. See, continuous waiting. So the Lord sets up examples, just like with our forefathers, of men who pretty much fell away from the faith, all right, who became weary in their mind and cast off, their faith towards Yahweh by Shemal Shai. So let's get a precept real quick on weary. Galatians 6:9, it says, it says, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not, right? So we continue in the faith, keep doing the work, keep sacrificing our life by putting out the flesh, okay, not going back into the world, entertaining things of the world again, then we're going to reap if we faint not, okay? We can't become tired in the mind to where we, lose sight. It says, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. All right. So we got to continue doing the work, basically. See? So again, the Lord set up examples dealing with our forefathers and how we should not be. Okay. In the 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. And we start at verse 1. It says, moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, all right, the so-called UFO, the chariot of Yahweh Shai, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So it says, but with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased. Right, or Yahweh by Shemal Shai was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted, right? They had unbridled lust back then, okay? That manner wasn't enough. It says, neither be ye idolaters, as with some of them, as is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. And neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of the serpents. And neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. It says, now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. So we can look back on what they did, all right, coming out of Egypt, and see how they went on so much where it pissed the Most High off, so that we can learn from that and not do it, as we see the punishment that came from that. So verse 12 says, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Yes, if you think you got everything down pat, you got to take heed that you're not doing the same things that our forefathers did. That's going to lead to what? Death and destruction. I'm pretty sure they thought that was good back then too, until the wrath of the Lord came forth. So we had to continue suffering in the faith and waiting with patience on our Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shai, by the pardon from the world, by staying away from the pleasures of Egypt, okay, and just being satisfied with this truth, okay. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to go through a quick lesson. So Lord willing, all right, is edified. Till next time I say shalom.